Well, lots of officials from towns near the border are not too happy about the DOJ saying it will appeal the judge's ruling to keep Title 42 in place. My next guest is one of them. Don McLaughlin Jr. is the Republican mayor of Uvalde, Texas. Mayor, thank you for being here. You know, even with Title 42, we had 234,000 migrant encounters in April. I mean, that's just such a huge number. It's close to 3 million a year. Imagine doubling that. Is that what we would have if you got rid of 42?
Double or triple it. I mean, you know, we've heard it. He showed you the video of Reynosa. We've heard over in Piedras Negras there's a camp of over 18 to 20,000 over there waiting to cross. I mean,
what are you guys going to do? I mean, you've got a limited amount of resources. The federal government has not been handling this as well. As we're sending $40 billion over to Ukraine. You guys could really use some of that money here, right?
We could use it. I mean, our police department and sheriff's department yesterday alone intercepted 8 human smuggling cases right here in Uvalde and 3 pursuits besides the 8 that we did catch. I mean, and this is because our border's wide open, because our border patrol is not on the border. They've got this administration has them in processing centers processing immigrants. So the border's wide open.
There just aren't enough people around to handle all this. And as you mentioned, I mean, it's not just the border itself where people are suffering, although more there than anywhere else. It's because of fentanyl. People all over America are suffering because of these midnight runs where the administration sends migrants to other parts of the country, and we suddenly see a lot of people show up in our communities. That's why I believe 63% of Americans think we simply cannot get rid of Title 42 at this moment.
We can and we shouldn't get rid of Title 42. We ought to strengthen it and add other countries to it. If you look at San Antonio, where all these migrants are going from Laredo, Eagle Pass, Del Rio, the Del Rio sector, where they're all going to San Antonio. San Antonio's COVID cases yesterday alone increased by 400, the most since February.
Wow.
I'm not saying it all came from there, but all of a sudden we're having a surge in cases again. And look at the number of migrants that they're sending to San Antonio.
Well, by the way, I should say, Mayor, that these are live shots that we're seeing on the left side of the screen. We're looking at Eagle Pass right now as we're speaking. And it should be emphasized, by the way, that this is an issue that concerns Hispanic Americans as well as everybody else. I mean, it's in fact, the president's approval ratings have gone down tremendously among the Hispanic community in the United States. So it's something that most Americans really are united on in terms of a problem that has to be fixed.
I agree. The Hispanic community is fed up with this. We have a lot of great Hispanics in our families in our community. Their parents came over the right way. Our sheriff's parents, one of them, they came over, they applied for their green card. His parents worked and waited 8 to 10 years, but they finally got their green card. And they're the story of the American's dream, that you can come over and do it the right way and do things. But we just keep flooding them over and over. And the Hispanic community is fed up with it. This administration has no regard for the rights of American citizens. These immigrants have better rights than we do today.
Now, having said that, a lot of people, even those who are in agreement that we have to fix the crisis at the border, say that 42 is not a long-term solution. Of course, it was a result of the pandemic. It has kept things from getting even more out of control, but eventually it's just a tourniquet. You have to really have some kind of permanent solution to the border crisis, getting back to the Remain in Mexico. Would that be a place to start?
It would. I mean, I don't know why we're all concerned about Mexico, because Mexico sure isn't concerned about sending them over to the United States. We need to send them back to Mexico and make them wait. And then when Mexico has to deal with the large numbers that we are, maybe they'll start shutting their southern border down and limiting these groups coming through.
Now, Mayor, are you getting any support? Is anybody listening inside the Beltway to your cries for help?
From Washington? No, nothing. I mean, thank God the governor sent us extra DPS troopers to our area. But, I mean, they're here for a couple of days, and then there's a surge somewhere, and they're pulled out. But like I said, the number of bailouts, the number of pursuits, the number of human smuggling cases that we're seeing have just gotten – it's almost tripled weekly now.
And, Mayor, finally, what is the economic effect on your community from all this?
Well, I mean, the economic, we haven't really studied that yet, but it is. I mean, businesses, are concerned. Citizens are concerned. I mean, with gas prices and different things. I mean, everybody's concerned with what's going on, and yet we keep pouring all this money to these migrants that are coming over. What about helping our own American citizens out? What about taking some of this money and putting it into food programs and so forth where families really need it that are struggling today?
Yeah, well, as you can see, Americans are concerned. They do believe we need a real solution. Mayor McLaughlin, we wish you the very best, sir. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.